When you're expecting your first baby, the excitement is unreal. And so is the confusion. What should I buy? What makes sense? What is just a waste of money? I have a budget. It's so confusing. There's so many options. Which one should I buy? I personally had that experience when I had my first child 8 years ago. And it's so interesting because I had a conversation with a friend who is expecting her first child, and the questions were the same. So I thought to record the conversation and the resources I shared with her that made everything so clear. So in this video, I'll be giving you your stress-free shopping guide for your first child that would help you focus on enjoying your journey and move you away from the guesswork and the stress of shopping. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. We talk about everything that has to do with financial wellness, from personal finance to investing to the economy. So even as you are expecting your little one, there's money to be invested for the child, there's money to be made for the child, there's the economy to consider. So you need to subscribe to this channel. Yeah? Now, the first thing I told my friend was, you don't need to buy everything at once. You don't need Crocs on day one. There's some things that you don't need. You need to pace yourself, right? Baby shopping can feel like an emergency, but it really isn't. Number one, you're going to be pregnant for 9 months, right? You'll probably start thinking about shopping around the 4th to the 5th month. You still have 5 months ahead of you, and a lot of the things, and there will be some essentials that you need to buy from day one, but a lot of the things that you will need for your child will be needed in about a year from then. So don't put yourself under pressure to buy everything at once. Now, one of the things that helped me was a friend shared a shopping list with me, which made things sort of clear, because she had like a shopping list that she put on Excel. And so everything that she had to buy, she put the price and everything on that sheet. But what I did that made it easier for me was that I sent it to some of my OG friends who had had kids already. And so they put things into different categories: buy now, buy later. Of course, I was living in Nigeria. I ship things in. So ship things in now, buy when you travel. All those profilings were there, such that even now when I send that sheet to friends, right, depending on where they are in the world, if you're like in Nigeria, you're shipping in, then you know what to ship in. If you are in the United States or North America or in the UK, you know the things that, okay, just buy ahead, right? So it just made things really, really clear for me. So the first thing is, you don't need to buy everything at once. It's not an emergency. It is not. Don't put yourself under pressure. So your pro tip here is to actually break things into stages: what you need immediately and what can wait. That sheet can help you. The second thing is to prioritize multi-purpose items. And I experienced that straight up. When I sent that list to my friends, there are like things that, the swaddle cloth, the burping cloth, some things that in the end, when the child's already on your shoulder, you don't need a separate burping cloth because you're already something that is there. You know, things like that, right? So streamline the things that you can use for different purposes, right? A lot of baby products are designed to make you spend, because there's an emotional part to having a first child, especially the first child. Like, that's when you are most likely to waste the most money. Yeah, but you don't need a wipe warmer if you are in the tropics. Or you don't need a wipe warmer if you are having a child in March, for example, where the weather is changing, and then you would probably be done with, and you're due in like summer or like May, right? And then the child will have gone through that really tender phase. Do you understand? You know, there's some things that you might not need, or you might not need a separate drying rack depending on how you're structured. You might not need a separate sterilizer. There are so many things that depend on how you're structured. Like, you need to have like a system. This is how I want to arrange myself, and then these are the things that I will need in that arrangement, right? So very, very important. And I think for me, that list did help me in streamlining things. And you know, when you talk to people that have experience, like, a lot of these things you might not really need, right? For some people, nursing bras compared to regular bras, if you have a half cup bra, like one of my friends said, that after the first like 1-2 months, when you've gotten the hang of latching, the half cup bra can work. You don't need to buy like 10 of those nursing bras because they're expensive. expensive. Yeah, they are. There's some things that you could just look at, right? A diaper bag that could serve as a changing station also, instead of buying a separate changing station at the same time, right? Those are the little things that so I'm just opening your mind, right, before we get to the list, because the list will actually help you. Yeah. And then the next thing that I would say is quality over quantity. The fact is this: if you buy like 10 pairs of socks or 20 pairs of socks for a newborn, and you buy it in newborn stage, I kid you not, the child might not even get it before they outgrow it. That's just the reality. So it might be better for you to buy a good quality pair, 2, 3, 4 pairs of socks of a good quality cotton that you can use from 0 to 6 months, so you can wash over and over again, than buying 20 that you will not get to use and they will outgrow. Then you now have to buy at 6 months again, if you get what I mean, right? So there are lots of things that children will outgrow, especially at the early stages. As much as possible, limit those early stage things as much as possible, right? Get a small pack first for everything. Newborn diapers, get a small pack, buy as you go, right? Because they will probably outgrow a lot. You end up giving out a lot of things that cost you money. Yeah? So quality over quantity. Buy things that you can reuse, right, and get over and done with quickly, as against buying plenty things that you now be hustling. You know, if you've seen people that are dressing their babies up at home, why? Because they must wear these clothes. That's how it happens. That's actually how it happens. Now, one of the things that the list helped me with was that I sort of had guidance on on the exact, like, I had a guide on how much of the newborn diapers I should buy, especially if you are in a climate, especially in Africa, where we ship things in a lot. We want to bulk buy. Things are expensive locally, but if you bulk buy and shipping is cheaper, then you now struggle with, okay, how many cartons of diapers should I buy, in what sizes? Well, because I had people ahead of me, right, so they gave me that, okay, for newborn, buy this amount. For this one, buy this amount. This overlaps into this, right? I had that guide, right? Because I just sent it to OGs. They just put all their comments on the sheet. I wasted money on this because by the time I now compared the different, but like, oh, this makes sense. I knew how much to order. So I literally just handed it over to my friend, and she's like, oh my goodness, Ola, you have saved me a lot of stress. But trust me, the major rule is that don't buy too much, don't overbuy. So even after having that list, the good thing was that I sent it to my friend with the Amazon links, because she's shipping in, right? And I sent it to her with the Amazon link. So all she just needed to do was to click on it and add to her cart, and then when she's done, she just clicks buy. Yeah, that's how easy it was, right? Now, the first thing that I need to highlight is that safety is not negotiable, right? Some things you might need to spend more money on because they are safe, because they would help your child better. The things around colic and taking in too much air, you know. So if you have bottles that are of better quality, you know, and some if bottles that are BPA free and are of better quality, that will save you some of those stress, please just buy it. Like, just buy it. And the major thing is to ask moms ahead of you which one is just marketing and which one actually works well, right? Which was what I did for my friend. I gave her the list, and most of the things on the list were things I use. I'm like, okay, I can tell you for free that these things work, right? But safety is not negotiable. Like, you need to consider that. You can't go cheap on safety, right? You can't just say, well, just a bottle, what's the difference? But no, you can't do that, right? And a lot of things that come with childcare, you have to focus more on safety than price, right? And one of the things that you need to buy, especially in developed countries, right, you need to have your car seat. Your car seat must not be dated. You can't use a car seat that is, I think, over 4 years from manufacturing, right? They will not allow you to take your child out of the hospital. So know that. So don't say, oh, somebody handed me down a car seat. No, can't work. A stroller, yes, but not a car seat, like the actual car seat that you put your baby in to leave the hospital. No, it has to be of a recent year, right? And it must be of a certain standard, right? So you can't, there's some things you can't joke with. Now, the fifth thing is that you need to think about yourself. Now, why I love that list was I had my own packing list, I had my own shopping list in it. Why? Because somehow or the other, you actually tend to forget about yourself, right? So even things like the what's it called, what you would pack to the hospital, what you would wear. So you actually write down what you want to wear, or things like that. It was quite detailed. Your pillow, your shopping, you want chocolate, whatever you want, right? Well, you have to think about yourself. You also have to think about, like, so for some of my friends, I got them their snapback outfit, right? I got them their snapback outfit. Things like, if you want to use any of these tummy tying things, right? Those are, it is now that you think about those things. It's not when you have the baby. Like, you have to have those things on lockdown right now and sort of frame your mind for how you want to manage yourself after the child, right, arrives, because you will not be thinking much about yourself at that time. So it's what is already there, or if you have someone that can support you through that period, because you'll be short on sleep, you'll be excited, and there's some little real human being that you have to deal with, you have to attend to, you have to focus on. It's just a lot, and you have family, so many things happening, right? So planning for yourself is also very important. So, the summary of this is your postpartum care items should be ready. Like, you need to put that in your list. You need to plan for those also. And then another thing that you need to know is that, I think the sixth thing, I think I've done through 5. So the sixth thing is that you don't need all the baby gadgets. Things like white noise, there's YouTube, like, some machines that give your child white noise. No, just YouTube. Yeah, just play it in the background, screen off, it works. Right? Or I remember for me personally, I think I got caught on that because it looked fancy. Like, after they gave me just a basic crib, I was like, no, I want to buy this expensive crib. It has it this, it has it that, that. I maybe refuse to sleep in it. Yeah. So just start with the basics, right? I think that's a major thing. You don't need every baby gadget. You don't necessarily need, if you have family around you, you might not need that swinging chair thing, right? Because you have people. So someone else might need it. And guess what? The child may not like it. That's the worst part. The child may not like it. So be careful on the gadget, be careful on those fancy things, right? Always start with the basics, and always try to invest. Make sure your primary investments are the things that you will use regularly: your car seat, your stroller, the things that will make you comfortable, your diaper bag. My diaper bag had a laptop slot, right? It had a charging pod. Those are the kind of things that, so you're just putting yourself together. The final thing I'll recommend is to use a trusted shopping list, right? I will drop a link to the shopping list. Now, it's for you if you are African. It includes things that you should buy, like the postpartum care food, the items that you should have in your diet, the kind of teas you should buy, things like that. Things that can be locally sourced in Africa or in an African store. Why? Because we know what we do to get ourselves back in shape, right? We know what we do, right? So if you are interested in that list, please click on the link in the description. And then the amazing thing is that I added my Amazon North America and UK links to it, such that if you click on the link, all those items will drop in your cart and you can click buy, right? And there's actually a reasoning for everything, why this is better than this, and if you are doing this, then you should do this. So it just explains and makes the journey easier for you. So if this is something that you would need, please click on the link in the description, and also share with a friend. Share this video with a friend who is expecting their first child. It is very important for your first child, because that's where there's the most confusion. Like, you will have suffered, and then by your second child, like, oh, I know what to do, I know what I need, blah blah blah. But this is me helping you through that journey. Don't forget that while we're excited about having a child, there's so much more that can be done in terms of saving, investing, planning for the child's future. So you need to subscribe to this channel, number 1. And number 2, before you even get to the child, you need to put your finances in order. So don't forget that you can't outsource your health and your finances. You need to engage. So maybe while you're on maternity, you need to start thinking about financial education if you're not doing so already. Yeah, and investing, especially for that amazing little one that we're expecting. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.